I'm Gaurav. I'm an author, educator, and a founder building using AI, which gives me the credibility to seek the next 1 hour of your time from your life. In this session, I am going to teach you how you can truly use AI in your daily lives. I'm going to give you very practical lessons. Like literally, I'm going to share my screen and show you how I use AI, how I use ChatGPT, and then you can derive inspiration from that as well. Do stick on until the end, because what I'm also going to do is give you 25 prompts of ChatGPT for free. And this involves prompts that you can use for your Excel operations, for data analysis. Say if you use VB or AppScript for that, with respect to say auditing, with respect to taxation, in your daily life also, say for improving your communication. Say you want to write good verbal communication over emails, or you're drafting a policy at workplace, or for interview preparation, like how AI can use help you with say your resume or cover letter when you're applying for a new job, or just in general while at work. Say you want to brainstorm new ideas, you want somebody to review what you've done, you want to sort of resolve a conflict, or for better time management. All of these things, you can start using AI's help to improve your thinking and effectively your output. And I'm going to share all of these prompts for free in an Excel sheet towards the end. So do stick on until the end, and then we'll go through the presentation. What I'm going to do is give you one mantra, a formula that I've derived to make the most of Chat GPT and AI. I'm going to share that with you. If there is one thing I want you to take away, बाकी कुछ मत लेकर जाओ इस session में से, just this one thing around the mantra and how to best use AI, and I'm pretty sure you would have done your job, right? So just take this formula, the mantra that I'm going to give you in a few slides from now, and I can tell you that you'll be sorted at your workplace about how to use AI generally, professionally, and at the personal level also. For me, what is very important is to allow you to learn, or to enable you to learn how you can use AI in your daily life and get that edge over your competitors. I mean, if you run your own business, how do you go above competition? If you work someplace, how do you use AI to rise faster and be more efficient at workplace? So yeah, that's something that I'm going to cover in today's session as well. Here's a quick agenda of what all we will cover. First and the most important thing that I feel is, why should you care about AI, right? Until you're not convinced about the first piece, everything else doesn't matter. Getting in, I want you to have the mindset that why AI really matters and why should you care about AI. The second, which is the takeaway that I want you to have, is the golden mantra of using ChatGPT. Like, I'm going to give you a formula that you can use in your workplace. And anytime you're using ChatGPT, just remember this small formula. If you do it right, believe me, you'll make the most of ChatGPT and other AI tools. Then we'll cover examples around how you can use, how you can use AI for Excel, advanced Excel, for data analysis. Say if you're into private equity, equity research, how you can use it for writing audit reports, tax reports, presentations that you're supposed to make. All of these I'll use AI. I'll pick practical examples. I'll also take inputs from you all that, okay, these are the kind of inputs that you would want me to pick up live, unscripted. You can tell me in the chat box, okay, Gaurav, do you think we can do this? Or let's try some version of it. And I'll show you how AI can enable it to you. And then of course, I will speak more about like the other pieces, but are you ready? Let's dive in, because I'm going to demonstrate how to use AI. While I'm sharing my screen, I'm going to show you, different pieces. So let's get started. The first and the most important, right? Why should you really care about AI? Well, I want this sentence to stick in your head no matter what. AI will not replace humans. So, a lot of people who fear jobs loss, that, okay, AI will take away our jobs. That is not going to happen, honestly, in my point of view. But humans who know AI will replace other humans. What that means is, if you're not upskilling yourself in the skill of AI, you will see yourself leaving behind. You will see yourself getting left behind, because AI is not going to replace humans. Like cars didn't replace. So when, earlier there used to be like horse carriages and then cars came. the the cars didn't replace, like, people who used to drive horse carriages. It was just horse carriages drivers had to learn how to drive a car, so they had to upskill themselves to the newer technology. So it's not like driving as a job went away. It's just from driving a horse carriage, people went to driving a car. And this is a similar shift wherein, like, because of a new technology, old jobs can become redundant, but if you learn the new technology, you will still be relevant. So AI is not going to take jobs. AI is not going to replace humans, in my opinions, but humans who know AI will take jobs of other humans and essentially replace them. So now is a very good time for you to start investing in learning about AI. The world is going to change. It has changed a lot in the past 2 years, ever since AI became more mainstream. The work, by the way, on AI has been happening right from 1960s, but it's only the past 2 years that everybody's talking about it. It is accessible to everyone. So there's a platform shift that is happening, and which is why it's important that you learn about AI, right? So AI will not replace humans. Humans who know AI will replace other humans. And honestly, you should care about AI for like three, four reasons. I've mentioned them here. The first and the most fundamental is it unlocks capabilities. I'll give you an example about why I chose to build an AI. This was 1.5, 2 years ago. I don't write code. I'm not a software engineer who writes code, but I was able to use AI to write a full-fledged code for me, develop this website, develop this application that I was looking for purely from simple English. I just told it what I had to do, and like iteratively code it out, and I was able to build the app. So I was able to do the job of a software engineer. Not so much that I'm going to launch the next Facebook, but at my workplace, if there is something that I want to execute, I'm not dependent on finding like somebody from the software team or hiring a consultant externally and then getting them to do it. I can do things like these at my workplace. And in your case, what is relevant is, say there are some automations that you want to do, say around Excel, Google Sheets, or some other platform. If it involves some bit of coding, you don't have to write the code. You can use AI, and we'll cover some bit of it about how to write, say, VBA code or app script code, which is for Google Sheets, using AI, and it will do the automation for you, right? So it unlocks capabilities. Second, it improves efficiency by an order of magnitude. I can tell you I've saved literally over 500 to 600 hours alone in the past 4 5 months, ever since 2024 started. So imagine, in the past 4 5 months, every month I'm saving at least 100 to 120 hours, and I'll show you how in this webinar. I'm going to tell you very practically how you can do that as well. The third is, it is literally an expert available at the cost of an intern. A lot of people think, oh, why should we pay for the ChatGPT subscription? It's $20 per month. But believe me, you can derive its ROI within one day, let alone one day, in a few hours. Literally, if you're able to do a task that you would have otherwise costed you a lot of time and money, you can literally save up on that time and money in $20, and you're sorted, right? And finally, edge over competition. If you truly want to go ahead and be the person who's shining at their workplace, as a business they are thriving and the competition is getting left behind, you have to use AI in your business, right? And at your workplace as a professional as well. So this is why you should truly care about AI. Coming to the mantra, I think the golden mantra which I want you to take away, बाकी कुछ मत लेकर जाओ इस session से, take away this mantra formula that I've developed, which is called CAC. I will explain it to you. I will also show you how you use it in the ChatGPT AI window, everything. But remember this CAC, which stands for character, action, constraint. Again, I'm repeating CAC, character, action, constraint. Now, character means defining the role that you want AI to play. Like, imagine you want AI to act as an expert in, say, GCC taxes, or say UAE taxes. You start with that frame of mind, or say you tell it that I want you to act as an expert in resume writing. You start with that character. Or say you wanted to act as an expert in, say, negotiation. So whenever you do that, and I'll tell you why it's important, whenever you're interacting with AI, it has tons of information about the world. It has tons of roles it could play. But when you define a particular role, you're defining the scope and frame of mind with which the system should help you. So defining the character is very, very, very important. If you do it right, believe me, you'll already be 90% ahead. You'll be ahead of 90% of the people. I've known and seen so many people use ChatGPT. Believe me, they don't do it right. They just suck because they go to ChatGPT and be like, oh, do it for me. But that's not how it works. You have to define the frame of mind. You have to define, okay, what is it that ChatGPT should help you with today? What's the kind of expertise that you want from him? And that's how you define and use this formula. So the first is character. The second means action, which is fairly straightforward. Like, what is the task that you want it to do? And again, the task, you don't have to define it vaguely. The more specific you define, the better answers you get. And it's a very iterative process, which means that it's not like you put something, it gives you a output, and that's the end of it. You can tell it that, okay, the output that you gave me, it lacked this piece, or I want the output a certain way. Say, imagine it has given you an email that, you could write as a reply. You could tell it that, hey, I didn't like the tone of it, or this was too wordy. Can you, shorten it? Can you give it to me in bullet points? Like, whatever you want, you can define better actions, and that's how, you can get better outputs. And the third is constraints, which means defining the elements of the desired output. I'll tell you what constraint means. It's not as intuitive, but you have to define how you want things. So in this very email example that I mentioned to you, defining the tone, that okay, make it more friendly or make it more strict, that means constraint. Or say the number of words, that okay, I want the response in say 150, 200 words, that is defining the constraint. Defining the output, the format of the constraint, that okay, I want the output in a tabular format, or this is an example of an output, give me an example similar to this. That is defining the constraint. So when you do this, when you define the character, when you give it an action and you define the constraint, you make the most of ChatGPT and all AIs that you use. Um, so I hope you've understood this, because now is when we'll get into the examples and presentations. But if you've understood this, and just as an appreciation for the mantra that we are going to use ahead, let's get started. I'm going to dive into the examples now. But please be active. Now is the most fun part of the session. I'm going to demonstrate live about how you can use ChatGPT at your workplace, right? So let us start with Excel. I'm pretty sure you use Excel at workplace. Let me actually take examples live of how Excel sort of works really well, and ChatGPT can help you with it, right? So I'll take a very short example of like a very easy Excel hack, and then of course I'll go to more advanced problem statements as well about how you can use AI for advanced Excel, right? Uh, so the first bit, this I've opened chatgpt.com. This is like the first window. Uh, how many of you have used ChatGPT? At least this is what ChatGPT looks like. If you don't know, ChatGPT is the most revolutionary AI product today. This is also how the world got crazy about AI back in 2022, when we started about AI. So this is how the interface looks. It's very simple. There are, on the top left, there are different kinds of models that you can use. Don't overthink it. Whichever is the latest one, they write, okay, what is which model they use, and you just mention it. And this is the chat box, which we will call the prompt window. This is where you put what your instructions are. You simply have to use this. You can also attach files and give it a lot of instructions. And then once you start using, on the left, you start seeing it. Then you can see every day, every month, I use it in very different contexts. Like, these are all my chats from the past 1.5, 2 years. I'll tell you every small little thing that I have. I just go here and I brainstorm with it. So I generate a lot of content. So a lot of content that I write on, say, LinkedIn or Instagram, that I create, those scripts, all of that also comes from ChatGPT's help. And like a lot of things that I do come from here, right? And I'll tell you, it is very, very powerful. And I'll give you a few examples of how you can use it. So has it happened with you that, a lot of times you're thinking about a formula and, you are unable to get it right, or unable to see, okay, sure, what's the formula that I should use? Has that ever happened to you? Can you type a yes in the chat window if, you're thinking about a formula, but you don't know, what's the example that I should use. On the screen now, I've just gotten this piece around, say, like, it's a very simple table which has like a name, and I want to separate it to say first name and last name, right? Um, I am pretty sure most of you are proficient with Excel, so you'll just go be like, okay, sure, I just have to split A2, and that's how you'll get the answer, right? But imagine you are unable to get it. So how do you use AI? So what you do is effectively come to AI, come to ChatGPT, and start off with what we discussed, which is CAC. All right. So I mean, I'm pretty sure all of you are most proficient with Excel, but I'm just taking this one small example for 2 minutes so that I just explain how to use CAC, the character action constraint, and then I'll do a more advanced problem, right? So say I want help with Excel, I always start and define the character for AI that, okay, I want you to act as an expert in Excel and Google Sheets. So here's the character. Then I give the action. I want your help in a formula that I can use. So this is the action and the constraint is, and this is where we define that, okay, I have the column A, which has name and surname. I want to separate it, like just in plain English. And by the way, if you look at it, I'm intentionally making grammatical mistakes. Like I'm not rectifying the spelling of error separate. ChatGPT is smart enough to understand all of it. So even if you make grammatical mistakes, don't worry. I want to separate it. Can you give me a relevant formula? And you just have to press enter and you will see that AI starts working and it gives you a formula. It gives you different kinds of formulas. I mean, folks who use AI or Excel, like just tell me if this works. A lot of times it gives you like, complex formulas, but it is easy also at times. Yeah. And in case you're like, hey, give me an easy formula, you can just type it out as well and it can give you a easy formula, right? From text to column, which is split, correct? So it can help you with that as well. And it gives you complete information that, okay, select the column A, go to data tab. You can do this also, right? So there are different approaches that it gives you and also a step-by-step guide. So again, this is a very simple example, but I'm going to just notch it up a little higher. But this is how you use AI and like interact with ChatGPT. So I define the character here, which is I wanted to act as an expert. Then what is the action I wanted to take? And then what are the constraints? And can you give me a relevant formula, right? Let me take it a notch higher. And in this example, I'm going to create like a aging report. So the idea here is here I have dummy data set and I'm pretty sure you would have looked at it that, okay, sure, aging of your receivables or inventories, that correct, Rahana? So imagine, you have your invoice number, you have like a vendor code, which we give to like, all the vendors that we work with. There is a date and there's an amount. Okay. Now say somebody comes up and tells you, hey, I want an aging report and I want to know, okay, who are the top 3 people I should follow up with? Say, imagine that is the task. Now, if this is the task, how do you use AI to solve for it? So let us now go back to ChatGPT and use it. Is this interesting example? I mean, do you face it at your workplace? So let us go back and type in the in ChatGPT how I would solve this particular problem. So and imagine you want to write a code for it. So you come back here and say again character. I want you to act as an expert in Excel and Google Sheets. This is the character. Then the action. I have a task at hand to create a aging report. And by the way, you can also define your own parameters, aging report. The categories are 1 to 30 days, 31 to 60 days, 61 to 90 days, and 90 plus. I think that's reasonable and that's how most organizations sort of work. 90 plus. Uh, this is the action. And then you tell it, I have the table in this format. So you can actually also just copy paste some bit of your table so that it understands what the format is. So say I come here and I just copy, say, the first few rows to give it an example that, okay, this is how my formatting of the table is. So I just come here and type it out. Don't worry too much about the, formatting while copy pasting, like ChatGPT is smart enough, it understands. And then you tell it, imagine today's date is 31st May. Can you help me with an app script code? So I'm using app script here. App script, don't worry, it's not different from a VBA code. App script is just something that you use for Google Sheets, and given like I'm working on Google Sheets right now, I'm using this. But you just come here and say, imagine today's date is 31st May. Can you help me with an app script code that helps me uh, identify my DSO, daily outstanding, or like helps me identify vendors who are at risk based on their outstanding dates. Can you, yeah, cool. So we just give this as an input. Are you able to follow through? This is, say, the character that we are giving. I want you to act as an expert. Then this is the action. I have a task at hand to create an aging report. And then you give it some constraint that, okay, this is what you will look at as the amount. And then imagine today's date is this. And then can you help me with the identify vendors? I also need to know who are top 3 vendors I should be worried about. Let us actually make the task more complex and how a human would think. Okay, so I press enter, and this is the task that I've given to it. And you see it starts working. It writes the code by itself, which is the VBA code and the app script code in this case. It identifies, okay, in which column what data exists. It writes the code about difference of dates, all of this, and it sorts it out. It gives you an explanation also about what is it doing. So, and this is exactly how a human would think, right? First, I would extract the date, then I would calculate it, then I would categorize it as per aging categories, then I would summarize it, and then sort it based on like the total amount, and then whoever are the top 3 vendors as per aging report, I would do it, right? And it also gives you example of how you can run it. So you have to open your Google Sheets, go to extensions, app script, and just run the code, right? So you see, firstly, it wrote the entire code. Like if I were to ask you if you were to write this VBA code, I'm pretty sure it would have taken you at least like 30 minutes, 1 hour. This was literally done in under a minute. So this is 1 hour of saving right away, right? Second, it is also giving you instructions about how you can do it. So you don't have to apply your brain so much. It gives you like through and through instructions. Also, if this is not clear, you can iteratively ask it, okay, I was unable to figure it. Can you guide me more? So all of that is possible, but very quickly, let us go through this. So I have copied the code. You can very simply, press on the copy button here. I'll come to chat, like my Google Sheet here. Much like how it suggested that go to Google Sheets, open extensions, go to app script. I open app script. It says that if there is an existing code here, just sort of delete it, and then, it will work as well. Yeah, I'll just copy this table. Okay, I go here to extensions. I will first again come back to ChatGPT and copy the code. Yeah. So I'm giving the name a different, I'm giving the sheet a different name so that you don't think it's rigged and, like I'm doing it live. So you come to app script, good, but I've generated the code. Let me actually paste this code here. If anybody wants to try it at their end, like, please feel free. For the interest of time, I will, move ahead. But like, I hope you get the example. I'll also show it live to you. I'm sorry, I didn't realize I could run into a cookies issue. But this can generate the code for you. This can give you like, the entire examples. Um, so this is the first piece, which is, just writing app script code. Imagine you have to app script and VBA code. Imagine you're supposed to do a financial model, right? So let us actually go ahead and create a financial model. Say a client comes to you and is like, hey, I want to, I want projections for, say, my income statement, my cash flow. So why don't you go ahead and build it for me? So let us very quickly do this, and I'll take a very relevant example. Again, let's start with like the character, action, and constraint. So say the character you define as, I want you to act as an expert in financial modeling. So you've clearly defined, what do you want it to do. I want you to act as an expert in financial modeling. This is the character. Then you ask for help. I want your help to develop uh, an income statement cash flow projection, say for a car dealership in Dubai. Uh, I want to help the client with an Excel projection with relevant uh, assumptions of growth, interest rate, all of these, etc. So this is the action, and then you tell it, can you help me with a model for the same? This is the action that you define, and now you also define the constraint. I want it to be flexible as a model. I want the assumptions to be done in two scenarios. One is conservative and one is aggressive. To be done in a conservative and an aggressive manner. Okay. So let me just type this example. Is it clear that you want AI to act as an expert in financial modeling? You want the help to develop an actual income statement cash flow projection, and then you want two scenarios, one conservative and one aggressive. Can you build out the model? So I just press enter and wait for the magic to happen. It understands, okay, what are the different things that you would require, say for a revenue, and look at the pace at which it's doing, right? Like a human would take some time to come at it and then do it. It is able to identify, okay, what are the assumptions in a conservative case, aggressive case, for your interest rate, for your sales, all of this. It will also create an Excel template and share it with us, so like that eases our job. And it is writing the code. You don't have to worry too much about what it is doing in the background. It is writing some code, something. We don't have to care about it. uh, we just simply can download the Excel sheet, and it can do it. So let us just go through the output once and look at how fast it did it, right? Like when I'm speaking, it's barely 30 seconds and it has been able to do all of it. So it understood, okay, it's about a car dealership. Okay, so it understood that, okay, the revenue will come from new car sales, used car sales, services, and part repair, and then other income like financing, insurance. Understands what the COGS is, and that comes to the gross profit. Understands what the operating expenses are, about like the team, depreciation, selling expenses, all of this. Understands, okay, sure, this will be the operating income, then the interest and expense, taxes, all of it. Then the second piece, so that was the income statement. This is the cash flow projection. It comes up with all of it, right? So understands, okay, sure, how will the cash flow look like? How will I invest it? What will the financing and all of it look like? And then because I asked it to do two cases, conservative and aggressive, it was able to do it for everything. That, okay, revenue growth, how in a conservative scenario, assuming 5% year on year, in aggressive 10%, then gives me the cost of goods sold, operating expense, all of these. And it is able to create like an entire Excel projection. And it works in the backend. You don't have to think about what it is. You can simply just download the file. Let me download and open it. Yeah, 1 second, it's just downloading and I'll open it. But that's the power today. Like a human would have taken so much time just to think about. I mean, by the time we would have just opened a new Excel sheet, given it a name, uh, it, I mean, things would have changed, right? Like by the time we would have just done it, it has worked on the entire model and come up with it. Let me actually share my screen and show it to you. 1 second. Okay, or actually, can you display it here? So just look at this. It is showing firstly what are the assumptions. and what is the revenue of what is the revenue, what is the cost of goods sold that it is expecting depreciation. If you tell it, I want it for the next 3 years, can you just share it here with the conservative case? So let's imagine we are going with the conservative case, and I just type it that, okay, can you give it for the next 3 years? And it does all the work. It understands, okay, sure, what are the growth rates? And that's exactly how a human would do it, right? Growth rates in terms of, say, these are the conservative case estimates. We project it for 3 years. It understands what it is, and then it's working the backend, so you don't have to worry about, okay, what formula it's using, but um, you know, the final output that it will give to us. Yeah. Uh, can you see this? Do you understand it? How it is, gone from year one, year two, year three, how the revenue is increasing based on, like, what the estimates are here, right? So it imagined that, these are the conservative cases of growth estimation, that new car sales will grow by this much, used car sales, this will be the total COGS, gross profit, all of these things. Uh, yeah. Are you able to understand this? You understand this and it's helpful, and you understand the example. So this is how it says that, okay, sure, these are like the revenue numbers, all of this over the next few years, and you can of course download it as an Excel. So this is how, you can go about building like an entire financial model as well using this, right? You can download the Excel sheet, you can do it. Look at how fast it is doing. Like, a human would have taken so much time, right? And that's the beauty and power of AI. I'll quickly cover, like, other examples as well, because I have a lot to share. But I hope you understood, like, how you can develop VBA and app script code and financial model. But at the same time, they've released like a newer model, which is ChatGPT 4.0. Right now, it is free and you can access it. And in that, you can upload and download it for free. So it's just the new model that they've launched about 2 weeks ago. And that is also, shaped like a lot of things. So it is available now. So you can go to ChatGPT, the free plan, and still upload and download it. Okay. I'll cover the next one, which is data analysis. I'll show you, how it can help you with decision making and charts representation. Question here: how many of you like to listen to music? It's a couple of people who like music, right? So what I have with me is data of Spotify for 20 years, around what their top charts were. Okay, let me actually just share my screen and show it to you, show that data to you. So I'm going to show that data to you, and I'm going to directly copy paste it inside of ChatGPT. Okay, I'm not going to change it, or rather, I'm just going to attach the file, and ChatGPT will be able to understand and do decision making on top of it. So let me just open the window for you here. Let me know once you can see it. Okay. Yeah. Uh, I will also zoom in a little so that you can understand the data. Yeah. So what data I have is the year, the track name, the popularity of that track, what album it is from, who is the artist, what is the genre, all of this. Okay, like just very different type. It's a big data set just with different variables, and it's here right from the year 2000 to 2022. So all their top 100 songs for 20 years, they have it. So it's like a data of about 2300 rows with multiple columns. So it's like fairly big and extensive as a data, right? Let me just simply download this. Okay, I'll download it as an Excel. Uh, Let us go to ChatGPT and do data analysis on it very, very easily. Okay, let me just very simply go here. I will open like a new window. Uh, Here is an option to just attach something. So I'm going to come here, and you can actually connect your Google Drive. So directly you can connect your Google Sheet, your Microsoft OneDrive. But for now, let me just upload from my computer. Here I will choose the Spotify sheet that I just downloaded. You saw the Spotify sheet, right? So here it has information about, like the artist, genre, danceability of the song, like, how peppy a song is. So we'll use all of this very quickly. So I can come to ChatGPT. I have uploaded the file, and before I start, right, it is very important that like ChatGPT and I both are on the same page. So I can just start with a prompt. Can you describe this sheet? So what ChatGPT will do is, because I've uploaded the file, um, it will understand what is happening and it will explain each and every column and be like, okay, sure, are we on the same page or not? So like, don't worry too much about what's happening in the background. These are just codes that it is reading, and then it tells us, explains us every column, and just look at how accurate it is. So it had like multiple columns. So as a human, how would we analyze a sheet? First, we'll try to understand what every column is, right? So it understood that it has a year, a track name, popularity, who's the artist, the danceability of the song, all of it, these things. Now, let us do some analysis on it. What is one, like artist you like a lot, whose song you think has reached top 100, or could be Backstreet Boys, for example, right? If you listen to that, or Linkin Park. I don't know if you listen to Linkin Park, but I mean, any other, Justin Bieber, for example, Beyonce. Okay, let's take Beyonce, for example. So I come back to the chat window and I just type my data analysis. Like, say I were to use this data set and I was going to be like, I want to know top three songs of Beyonce and the year they were released in. And imagine I add one more layer as per the danceability of the song. Do you think this makes sense? So I'm saying, I was taking the example of, I want to know top three songs of Beyonce and the year that they were released in as per the danceability of the song, and it should be under 5 minutes. So all of these are very complex data analysis, like all cuts at once, right? But it is able to analyze it and give us the answer. It was actually able to identify that there are no Beyonce tracks that are under 5 minutes. So let us just, and which is what a human would take like some time to come at, right? So let us just type here and see, okay, can you just show top three songs of Beyonce's? So it will go ahead, it understands, okay, what Beyonce does, and then, come up with it. So perhaps there are no songs of Beyonce, but so it identified, okay, sure, who are the artists, and then that perhaps it didn't come, right? So let me actually do this thing. Uh, what were So Coldplay comes here. What were top Coldplay songs? Yeah, what are top three Coldplay songs in uh, as per the uh, likability? I think that was also one of the parameters. So I'll just go here and do this analysis, and it will be able to identify these things and give us the explanation of how it happened. So you don't really have to look too much about, okay, what's happening in the background. Let AI do its job and we will be able to get to the final answer. Okay. So you see, it has come up with the answer. The top three Coldplay songs based on popularity are Yellow, Viva La Vida, and then Sky Full of Stars based on the popularity score. And see how interestingly it is come in the descending order. So we can do more analysis. Whatever questions we have, we can work with it. But I hope you're able to understand the example. I hope this data analysis is easy and understandable. Okay, got it. Cool. Let us cover the next example with respect to charts also. So you can actually create charts. Like, I'm pretty sure a lot of times in your presentations, or like, while explaining someone, you need charts. Uh, you can just use this window as well, like wherein we have done data analysis, and just ask it, uh, can you give me a pie chart of top genres in the year 2015. So I'm giving it a complex task that, okay, go to the year 2015, identify top genres and give me a pie chart of it, right? I can simply type that and it can give me, I mean, it will work in the back end. And if you ever want to verify, okay, is it doing the right thing? You can briefly understand the code. So what it does is it first goes to the year 2015, goes to artist genre, and then uses it, right? And then see, look at this. Within 30 seconds, it was able to give us the pie chart of, different pieces. So like pop had 60%, then there was EDM, there was dance pop, pop rap, like just different kinds of categories, right? Modern rock, all of these. And you can download this and simply paste it directly in your PPT. So it is able to do the data analysis and give you the chart also. Say you are like, I want to see the bar or like, line chart of uh, the top pop songs across years, the best pop song across years. So it will be able to identify, okay, what our expectation is. And in very simple English, you can type it and it will chart like a, yeah. So you see, it is able to identify, okay, what is the popularity of the pop songs across years, and it is able to chart it. So any kind of analysis, and by the way, they've made it very interactive also. So you can have like, a static chart, a dynamic chart. You can play around with the spacing, all of this. So just imagine how much time it would have otherwise taken you, and boom, you're able to do it really well and really easily here, right? So this is how you can create charts also. So this is a little bit on the data analysis piece. I will quickly cover examples around equity research and like, report writing as well. So imagine, you want to do equity research. Imagine somebody comes up with you, and I mean, you want to angel invest in a particular startup, and you're like, okay, sure, should I angel invest or not? And then you're confused. This is also where you can take ChatGPT's help. Imagine your company is in the helps a client with pitch reports, for example, that they are looking to raise an investment. What is the story they should tell? Right? What are the different pieces they should have in their deck so that they get funding? So imagine you were to create like a business plan and funding and an investment thesis, right? So you can just come here and be like, I have an idea. Like always start with the character. So I want you to act as an expert in venture capital and equity research. Okay, caps lock is on, but it's okay, doesn't mind. I want to create a business plan for starting. So EVs are on the rise, right? I mean, a lot of electric vehicles. So imagine your idea is that I want to start, I have a business for creating a network of EV chargers all across, say, UAE. So this is the action, and then you give it constraints. Can you help me with a structure to define my business plan? And here's where you give constraints. Also help me with what all I should keep in mind, what are potential roadblocks. So it is able to identify, okay, sure, in a business plan, this is how you go about it. You give an overview, mission statement, what are the products and services, company description, market research, what's the strategy that you're going to use, what are the product and service lines, operational plans. So imagine somebody something so extensive would have taken you so much time. Say you hire a consultant to do this for you, they would have charged you at least, I don't know, 2,000, 5,000 US dollars, and you're able to do all of it at a fraction of a cost. And that is what I meant by, like things dropping by an order of magnitude. So imagine it first gave you a structure, right? uh for now, let me just take this one example. Let me just copy this, and I can tell it I want help with this specific part. Can you help me write a 500 words uh, report on the operational plan that it has given us? So this was the operational plan it gave us, right? Like about the workflow, location, strategy, all of this. So I can ask it very specifically to give me a report on this. And it will very easily be able to identify, okay, sure, what are the nuances of it? There will be a centralized control system. There will be a 24/7 support team. What are the partnerships that I have to do? What are prime locations? How will I source it? uh, how will I go about inventory management, supplier relationships, all of this, right? Just thinking about this would have taken us so much time, but within minutes we have the entire piece, and it has nuances about how we'll go about UAE and things like these, right? So this is the power that I'm speaking about. So imagine you're doing like equity research or writing like a business plan for your funding, and like a new idea that you have, you can easily use it to your benefits. And by the way, all of these that I'm showing here, it is included in the template that I'm going to share with you in the next 15-20 minutes. Free template has all the prompts, so don't worry. I've compiled all of this so that you can refer to it and use it later. So this is on the investment thesis bit. What I mentioned, interacting with PDF, much like how I put it for Excel, like I can upload like a PDF. So let me also just upload one PDF I have from the AGM of Reliance Industries. I have this transcript, okay? And let me just, while I'm uploading it, I'll also open it up for you and show it to you. It speaks a lot about like what Reliance's plans are and all of it. So one second, let me just open it and show it to you what all it has. And then it can read the PDF. So I can ask it very specific questions. So imagine, wait, I don't think you'll be able to see it as yet. Okay. Anyway, so it has like the transcripts. Uh, I will just come here and open it and be like, yeah, so this is the basics transcript from, okay, like word by word, who were the attendees, all of this. And they speak about a lot of things. So they speak about like how Reliance Jio is doing, how they're acquiring IPL rights, say Viacom 18 or a Jio, all of their businesses. So let us just perhaps pick up the media business. Okay. So say while you're doing equity research, like you would think that, okay, sure, I have to go through transcript, see what happens. And like a lot of analyst calls are made this way, right? But that task also reduces significantly. So you just upload the PDF and you go ask it a question. Hey, so you define the character. I want you to act as an expert in equity research. I am doing an analysis on Reliance. Can you tell me what all was spoken about Viacom 18? Okay, so I asked it a very specific question, and what it will do is it will first read the script and then tell us what all it did. Yeah, let me just upload it. Yeah, so it is first analyzing what all like the PDF, and then it will come with the answer. Okay, cool. So I'll just cover like the last example, and then I can show it to you. Okay.
Sure.
So this is how you play around with like the PDF also, much like how you did with Excel. It can easily give you like different pieces. And then finally report writing and like communication. Yeah. Uh, Again, don't worry, like if I'm unable to cover things of it, I have everything as a template. So you can always refer to it. But imagine you have like a client email that has come and they are angry with you. Okay, how do you respond? How do you pacify them? So imagine there is a particular client who comes back and says that, hey, you were very unprofessional, or I don't like how you missed a particular timeline. So how do you actually just pacify them, right? So let me just take this example of how there was a delay in a particular delay in delivering your particular nuance. So imagine this is the angry email that you're receiving. Okay, let me just open a new window. Yeah, so imagine this is an angry email that you received, that there was a delay in report submission, and they're frustrated and disappointed that there was a delay from our side. And imagine it's a hard worded email that we've gotten from clients. So what do we do in this case? So we can actually take ChatGPT's help to reply to it in a professional manner, and also save the client from that perspective. So just one second, I'm loading my screen. You can actually ask it that, okay, I want to respond to it in a professional manner. I want to pacify them. I don't want them to be angry. All right. So you can actually come to ChatGPT and type out, ask its help for a response that you can type. Uh, and let me just, the interface is opening up. 1 second. Yeah. So I can just come to ChatGPT and ask it that, hey, so define the character. You can tell it, I want you to act as an expert in email writing. I have an angry client email, which I'm pasting below. So this is the character, this is the action. I want your help with, and this is where you give constraint with a reply that pacifies them and also tells about next steps. Okay, and I just very simply paste the angry email, right? And I just paste it here, and ChatGPT is able to come up with uh, like the right response. So just look at this, how it is very at the first, like says that you're sorry and understand that this would have leads to like inconvenience, but here's what we are doing to actually do this. Like we've identified the reasons, and it also tells you, okay, we can suggest like a new deadline because it was about not doing it at the right time, and then does very professionally, right? So just communication, which we might struggle with, like it solves for quite a lot. So all of these is something that you can actually do. So yeah, these were like top like few of my examples, and again, like client communication project report is similar. Just a few closing thoughts, and then like further things. See, the world is changing, so you have to adapt. If you don't adapt, you are going to be left behind. So this is the time that you truly like AI. It is still early in the world, so the earlier you actually pick up and understand the skills of AI, you will actually be ahead. Second is alpha. Like most of us are finance professionals, right? So alpha, if we, I mean, there is alpha in the market and which we can capture, we can still gain an edge over like other participants, other competitors of the market, and also like other professionals at our workplace. If we start using AI, we can go ahead and also personalize at scale. What I mean is like something that I didn't touch, and I'll do it in my advanced course, about how you personalize things. I mean, human interactions are all about relationship, the right communication, and you can use AI for your business, because we are in the servicing industry also. Like anything finance involves like a lot of humans, lot of interfacing with humans, so you can personalize that scale and have better relationships and grow in your careers, right?